How are you from wherever you are? There is the People's Bench and welcome to the program. I am your host Fred Ogweno. We are coming to you from Muthu Silver Springs Hotel here in Nairobi, a very wonderful place where you can just come and relax and enjoy world-class services. For more, you can scan the QR code right on your screen and you will be able to get much more. Tonight, we are focusing on Homabay County state of affairs, from allegations of grand corruption to ghost workers and to numerous bank accounts that cannot be explained. And to discuss this more, to bisect and to bring facts on the table, I'm privileged to have Mwalimu Odoyo Owidi. He is a senior political analyst, but he says it the way it is without mincing words. On my right-hand side, on my left-hand side, I'm privileged to have Honorable Erick Omollo, aka Japii. He is the MCA for Homabay Town East. We are here to put facts on the table. Is it endless potential county or it is endless PR? How are you, Mwalimu?
Habari ndugu yangu.
Nzuri sana.
Kuna mna gani?
Kuna mawazo?
Kabisa.
Unawaza kuhusu Homabay ama nini?
My county.
Oh my.
Cry the beloved county. Alan Patton.
Why are you crying?
Because my people are suffering.
Mheshimiwa is here. He's saying that they are not suffering. He's going to tell us. Mheshimiwa,
yes.
Welcome to the bench.
Thank you so much.
How is Homabay?
Homabay is great. Yes.
It seems like you are the only smiling from there. Mwalimu is not.
Yeah, you know, I found Mwalimu in the city, so possibly doesn't know what really happens in Homabay County.
Okay.
Yes.
You are going to tell us. Exactly. Let me start with you, Mheshimiwa. Is it a county of endless PR or it is a county of endless potential?
Thank you, Fred Ogweno, for deeming it fit to host us today to discuss Homabay issues. Homabay is our business. We love the county, and if things go well, we take credit. So today, you have asked a question that you did ask last time about whether the county is a county of endless PR or endless potential. You know, I can say that Homabay County is a county of endless potential, owing to the fact that Homabay County has achieved a lot since Governor Gladys Wanga came into leadership. And this is evident through the projects that we have delivered within 3 years that she has been in office. And the naysayers always say that this is a county of endless PR. And the people of Homabay County, who love their county, always say that this is a county of endless potential. The projects that the county government has achieved within 3 years is unimaginable. You cannot imagine what we have achieved based on facts, and these are the facts. First, the county government of Homabay has achieved quite a number of projects, especially starting from the budget itself. We came and found a budget that was at 7 billion, and the county on-source revenue by the county government of Homabay was at 300 million. And within 1 year, we had reached 2 billion. So you can see the progress in terms of on-source revenue collection. That is not PR. That is the strength of the county. And again, through this very county government, we have seen projects that were never done in 10 years during Governor Owiti's time. For example, we only had 20 ECD classrooms that were constructed. But during the leadership of Governor Wanga, the first financial year, we did 2 per ward. That is 80 classrooms, compared with the 20 classrooms in 10 years. The second financial year, we did 4. 4 times 40, that is how many? 160. 160 plus 80, that is 240 classrooms within 2 years. Right now, we're going to do 5 ECD classrooms. 5 times 40, that is 200 classrooms. 200 plus 240, that is 240 classrooms. Is that not potential? Is that not a great progress in terms of development? Then we also have programs like funding of needy students to education, scholarship. We fund 6 students who are needy, full scholarship to universities, all the way from secondary to universities. That was never in existence. And through her ardent resource mobilization, in partnership with the national government, we have seen great progress starting from the Homabay Stadium. Of course, the county government had allocated more than 1.5 billion towards the completion of these projects. And through her influence, the president added us 500 million. That led to the completion of the Raila Odinga Stadium. And then again, we also have projects that were done through the national government, through her own coordination. We have the amphitheater that was done.
That's through governor's coordination.
Just through governor's coordination. We have affordable housing. Why it not that she's not a lobbyist? She's not someone who goes up to leaders. You know, we have 15% of the equitable national revenue going to counties, and 85% still remains at the national level, centralized. So this needs a leader who is able to lobby, so that the 15% that we have is too minuscule to do a lot. So she has to lobby to get at least even 5 or 10% of the remaining amount, so that we can hit 25% of the equitable national share that comes to counties.
Thank you.
So it's not PR, it's pure leadership, it's pure potential and unmasking of the strength of the county.
And Mwalimu Odoyo, Owidi, and those that you are calling naysayers are not seeing this. Before I come back to Mwalimu, they are not seeing this. Why do you think so?
You know, I have listened to some of the clips by my good friend, Mr. Odoyo Owidi, and I can tell you that he doesn't love Homabay County. A man who loves Homabay County does not critique only on the negative side, without providing alternative solutions. If you listen to his clips clearly and keenly, you will never realize or you will never notice any point he's bringing home to provide an alternative solution to Homabay people. It means all he can do is to stress on the negativity of the county government. In fact, let me say something. If you can tell me that Homabay County, through a leadership of Governor Wanga, she's doing nothing, then no human being can be imperfect 100%. How I wish that one day I would hear him say that this has been achieved by her. That is an objective criticism, but one that only outlines negative things, that only outlines propaganda. That is not leadership. That is a man who does not love his
I'll come back to you. Just hold on that thought there. Mwalimu. Are you a propagandist?
You know, sometimes when a song you don't like is playing, you keep on thinking it has been playing for the whole day. When you have nothing good to say about you, you will start wondering why he's only saying bad things. But nevertheless, the solution that anybody from Homabay expects me to have for Homabay is in the revenue that comes from the national government as equitable share. That is where the solution is. The solution is in the 3.5 billion development money. That is where the solution for the problems of Homabay is. That is where the solution for the construction of hospitals is. Homabay is where you find a hospital which is one building, one nurse is a level 4 hospital because they use it to fleece SHA. You know, Homabay, sometimes you can cry. Because, for example, today there was a lot of money to take people to Kasipul. Abdul Swamad ametoka Mombasa, amepita Magarini, amepita Siaya just to go to Kasipul. Because in Homabay they provide you with transport to go and do their PR. That is the problem we have. There is nothing else. So when you come and say that I only talk about the negative things and leave out the good, why should I talk about the good when MCS are there all captured to do that? You know, ordinarily an MCS job is to oversight the national government. I mean the county government. But they have chosen to be the defenders of the governor. Right from the speaker, the majority leader, and all the MCS all the way down. So I can leave them. There are many. I'm only one person. Even the bad things are too many for me to say all of them. So we want to hear those bad things. But you see, when you hear them, they come and say, the governor has done many things. Don't tell us many. Tell us 1, 2, 3, 4. Because even me, the many things, I don't go to the media and say, the governor has done many wrong things. No. I say, the governor decided to manage Kigoto and called Raila Amolo Odinga to open it so that it is well managed. Today you can go there hunting with dogs and come back with an animal. You can't do that. Governor Owidi tried to build something called Animals Feeds Farm. When it had already gobbled about 100 million, they pulled it down to put the governor's office. You put the governor's office up there when there is no proper hospital in Homabay County, the whole county. There's no proper hospital. Homabay Referral has a good signage outside, but when you walk inside, you need a gas mask to put on your nose. That is what we have in Homabay. The whole of Rachuonyo, there is only one hospital that SHA can pay for you. Rachuonyo is 3 constituencies. Rachuonyo East, SHA is blacklisted. Rachuonyo South, SHA is blacklisted. We only left with ile ya Kadel. Now ya Kadel is a cartel network. There is no hospital at level 4 or even 5 that can earn 54 million even in 4 months. It's not possible. So Homabay has been captured by the governor in such a way that she can even use its institutions to fleece the national government of resources. My friend came here and said that Homabay is now collecting almost 2 billion in on-source revenue. How convenient. The last time they declared on-source revenue, they said it was 1.7. And they said Owidi left it at 300 million, isn't it? But you know the difference? The difference is during Owidi, revenue from health was not an on-source. Revenue from health in Homabay is 1.8 billion. So, if you remove 1.8 billion, it means they have gone down negative 100 million in collecting on-source revenue. So, it is just PR. They tell people things they want people to believe and go. Like, why this PR cannot go away? It's because you saw when we went for the nomination in ODM, which is spearheaded by the county government of Homabay, including its human and financial resources. Because the ODM people did not turn up to vote, they brought goons from as far as Ndewa and Masogo Nyangoma to come and vote.
Do you have evidence for that?
Yes, I have evidence, my brother. I have videos, 2 of them where they are in a car and carrying in their hands 4 votes. And then there is no photo anywhere where there was a queue to vote. But you know what they were trying to do? They were trying to PR that, hey, this boy has defeated his opponents 18,000 votes and the nearest is only 3,000. That is PR to make the people believe that this guy is going to win by a landslide.
Isn't it politics, Molino?
Let me tell you, my brother, there is a polling station called Aworo in my sub-location, in my location. There were voters 1,700. The fastest anybody can vote, including the most brilliant, is 1 minute. You take the vote, you mark, you go and insert, and you leave it for the next person. It means we needed minimum 1,800 minutes. Divide that by 60 and see how many hours you need to get those votes. So this idea of using PR on us must go. Even this slogan of endless potential is so misplaced because a potential is the existence of ability to grow. So the existence of ability for development in Homabay is not just endless, it's abundant. But nothing is happening with that abundance.
I will come back to you, Mwalimu. I want to pose a question to you. Have you, as MCAs and members of county assemblies, are you captured by the governor such that the other time we were having hospitals in Homabay County that were flagged by SHA, but we've not seen you summon the governor, we've not seen you ask questions in the county assembly. Are you protecting the governor more than you do to the people, or you are just doing your oversight role?
Thank you, Fred. That is a very interesting question. First, allow me echo again what I did say.
Please do.
That oversight is not opposition. Oversight is not exchanging fees so that the media can capture members of county assembly fighting. Oversight involves a process where there is consultation. The members of the cabinet, the CCMs, the chief officers of departments, whenever there is an issue that is raising an alarm, either there is misappropriation of funds, then members of county assemblies have the right to invite a CCM of a department to the assembly for queries. And this we have done in several occasions. And then we do reports. These reports have recommendations. These recommendations directs the executive to act. That is one instance of oversight. Then again, my good friend has said that it is we are captured. It's not in good practice that we fight leadership, but we oversight with facts. If there is misappropriation, we raise an alarm. But then we also have institutions that investigate misappropriation or corruption. And with us, what we can do is to scrutinize documents, do a report, and recommend that a reliable institution like EACC to investigate. And that is what we have done in several instances. So at that point, it is the function of the EACC to do scrutiny, to investigate, to come up with facts. But until now, if there's no CCM member, there's no chief officer, there's no director, or even governor herself, who has been brought before court of law that there was misappropriation, then where do we get facts? It means we are inculcating the spirit of propaganda, the spirit of petty politics into leadership. And instead of practicing governance, we practice gimmickry, where people import what best suits them instead of actualizing what is really happening. So that is why, when you talk about the issue of Kigoto, it's a very crucial issue. And it came in the Senate last time. One thing that the government can never do is to do business. And that is why the law allows for public-private partnership, where a given company can be given to a private person to run. Because the government does not rely on profits. And the main focus of the government is never to make profits, but to provide a conducive working environment to either the people or the citizens, or even the private partners.
But why didn't you advise the governor not to engage in that particular project at Kigoto right from the beginning, if you people knew that it is not the duty of the government to do business?
We learn as we go. And right now, there is that process of involving a private partner to manage Kigoto. We have learned from it. We tried to manage it as a county, and it didn't work. We have to appreciate the fact that it did not work. So if it didn't work, then there is a solution. And that is the solution that the county government is ardently working on.
Thank you.
That we ensure Kigoto stands the test of time so that it helps the people of Homabay County.
Thank you. Before I get back to Mwalimu, I want us to move this conversation forward. The issue of the county governor's office, is something that as people have talked about, that a lot of money was used to build that office, that the initial agreement was about PPP. That was about 520 million. Then later on, it changed through a bill that came through your assembly that later took it to 820 million. There was a loan, by LAP fund. So at what point did you people discuss this and realize that it was good to abandon the PPP and go for a loan, which is an expensive one?
First, Ogweno, coming up with the county headquarters, first in itself, is a symbol of unity. It's a symbol of maturity for the devolved units like the county government of Homabay. And coming up with the county headquarters has eased the burden of renting offices so that the county employees can work in. It has also eased the process under which staff work. It has initially, before the county headquarters was launched or was constructed, the process of implementation of budget becomes slow because you find there is one department almost a kilometer or 2 kilometers away. So when all of them are centralized, it becomes to coordinate departments within that given headquarter. But again, when we come to public-private partnership, we have the asset financing model that came in place instead of the public-private partnership. as was initially anticipated. So this changed. First, I don't know whether it's wrong when a tenant becomes a landlord. Under public-private partnership, the county government was not going to own this headquarter. They had to pay rent to stay or to operate in that headquarter. And then after doing assessment and analysis, the county government realized that if we give this project to public-private partnership, then it means we are not going to own it. For some time, it shall be the private sector managing it. And the county government needed to act to have full ownership of the headquarter. That is the first thing that happened. Then again, having the county government done through PPP required almost 2 to 3 years so that the actual breakdown could take place. Why? It requires that public-private partnership directorate must be involved. A lot of feasibility has to be done. A lot of surveys have to be done. And this would slow down the process. So right now, 2 to 3 years down the line, we will still not have the county headquarters. But we needed to move forward. Then again, private partnership may seem a little bit cheap. But when you compare the amount that the county government will lease this infrastructure, it will be more than actual cost that we now say is at 820 million. So these are some of the considerations that the county government had to assess so that we have full ownership of this partnership. In fact, the ownership under asset financing model gives you the ownership of the county headquarters immediately, unlike other private partnership program or model, which can take so many years before you get an ownership of the entire facility.
Thank you. I want to come to Mwalimu. You said the last time you were here that Governor Gladys Wanga decided to go for an expensive and flamboyant office. Are you having a problem with Governor Gladys Wanga enjoying the comfort of a good office?
First of all, let me assist you in this thing so-called ownership of the office, public-private partnership, and loan. You do not own a car you have bought on loan until you complete paying the loan. You do not own that office in Homabay until you will complete paying the office. Similarly, even if you did public-private partnership, you do not own it until the period of the agreement is over. PR has become a bag in Homabay. Everybody uses it. Anybody who goes to defend that county uses that. Number two, saying that PPP would have delayed is like trying to suggest that having an office in Homabay was an emergency more than having a teaching and referral hospital Yamana. It couldn't have been an emergency. The emergency was having a proper hospital in Homabay and other things. And two, in the what is called the strategic plan 2023-2027, there is nothing there like the office. This was an afterthought after cartels had gone and said, we have got a nice deal here. If you take a loan to build an office, then you will have a direct contractor, and the contractor can give a kickback. PPP don't get those beautiful kickbacks. That is why you saw the cost came from 520 to 820 million. Even the old office that the governor was using was better than any other governor's office in the whole country, not even Nairobi. And counties that have built their own offices throughout the country are only 7. So you're telling me that building that office cost cohesion. So these other counties which have not built offices, there's no cohesion. We need to look at something that I call distance. The workers in Homabay are complaining that now they reach Homabay town, they now take another matatu to reach the office. And also, all other counties are decentralizing offices so that they are nearer to the people they serve. And you want to bring them together so that the people who are leaving the office to go for revenue collection in Rangwe must come from the same spot instead of having that office in Rangwe.
They said that they are discongesting the town, Mwalimu. that they want the town to expand. That's why they decided to build it some few meters or kilometers
that is
from
logical,
the
but
CBD.
that is logical, but not true. But I think because we don't have a lot of time to spend on that, what was shocking me was Erick, Mheshimiwa Erick, to come and say that the oversight is not opposition. What then it is? Is it?
Tell me.
And then you tell us oversight, they are waiting for either the governor or the CEC to be taken to court first, then they act. How did the MCS in Embu act, in Meru act? How did the ones in Kericho act? How did the ones in Nairobi wanted to act? You act because you are the first line of defense of the people. The MCS are supposed to act even things which would ordinarily not reach courts because they are the moral bodyguards of the people. You are the ones representing your people in the seat of government there. But in Homabay, the county assembly has become a department of the executive, such that the majority leader himself spends his time going around to defend the governor, even on things he does not understand. The MCAs have now been given a timetable. From time to time, they are in media houses, funerals, defending the governor. And now, they have even reached the speaker. Yesterday, the speaker was at a radio station in Kisumu. And when you hear somebody trying to defend someone, but calling her or him with full salutation, with 3 names, no, that is a psychopath that has been built. Even me, I defend President William Ruto. But when you hear me start with His Excellency Dr. Samuel Samoei Arap Ruto, that is not normal. When you hear an MCA come here to tell Her Excellency Gladys Nyasona Atieno Wanga, there is a problem there. So this is the problem we are having in Homabay. Homabay, the assembly has been captured. And then they go ahead to capture the investigative agencies because the governor was here. She was flagged down and she never denied that she has 13,270 ghost workers.
We are coming to that.
EACC has not acted. DCI is not in Homabay. And the MCS are behaving like they have gas, they have ile kitu tulikuwa tunafunga naye mdomo, ile barakoa ilikuwa inaitwa nini?
Face mask.
Face mask. They can't even talk. In fact, there's a day they attempted not to impeach the governor, not to impeach the speaker, just to change the majority leader. They were caned. In fact, the assembly was blocked. And any of them who attempted that thing was told never even appear there. So the hooliganism that is going in Homabay, led by the governor herself, is unacceptable in any civil society. It is not possible that you can accept anything like that. So for the MCAs to wait until somebody else recommends for them that you should try your governor or your CECs, that they take them to court first. If the court has judged them, what are you going to do then?
I want you to come to that, I know. But even as you are answering, Mwalimu, also have it in mind that none other than the chair of the EACC, Dr. Oginde, himself came out and said that in Nyanza, Homabay is one of the counties that is leading in corruption. And here you are saying that it's yet to come to your table. You are still waiting for the EACC to act.
Thank you, Fred. You know, my good friend said that he is disputing the fact that I did say opposite. I mean, oversight is not opposition. That is something I want to clarify.
Please do.
That for us to act the way Kericho County Assembly did, you see, it didn't see the light of day. Right? If you have to impeach a governor or a senator, then you must get your facts right. So that even if it reaches the Senate, it's a watertight report. Now, why would Odoyo want me to post the governor when in the first financial year we appropriated 3.5 million to do water projects in 40 wards and all these were done? Why would I oppose her? Secondly, if out of the budget that we had, we did 2 classrooms done to completion, is that a mistake that it was done to completion? If we did roads at 10 million per ward, that is 400 million in a given financial year, done, and it's an evidence, you can touch it, you can see it, then someone wants you to go and oppose that leadership. Basically why we are elected is to lobby on behalf of our people, to represent them, so that we can bring developments to our wards. And if this is done, we support that government. And when we see gaps, we consult. That these gaps that are happening at the executive, please correct the following. We don't need to rush to Senate to impeach a CCM or to impeach the governor. Impeachment is not a solution. Discussion, conversation, getting it done right is oversight, not fighting. So when Odoyo says that we have been captured, that we are sleeping, we have put some face mask on, that is a bit petty. We have to practice leadership that appreciates progress. And you know, this regressive statement that we get each time about PR, this is just one way of changing focus. And the rightful leadership will always focus. You have to keep your eye on the ball.
Come on,
and regardless of the naysayers, all those PR statements they're saying, Governor Gladys Wanga has made progress. And you talked about the EACC giving claims that there is corruption in Homabay County. You know, that is a very punitive statement by somebody who heads an institution that should provide integrity. You don't need to talk in the media. Which action did he take? In fact, such a person should be removed from office because he didn't act prudently to take an action. Why do you go on a TV station to say there is this aspect of corruption and then there is no action? So as an assembly, we oversight prudently, not because we want to be castigated or we want to be influenced by Owidi or someone else who is a naysayer. That is very wrong.
Are you just saying that Mr. Owidi and his friends who are opposed to what is happening in Homabay County are doing petty politics?
You know, I listened to one of his clips, and the reason, in fact, you're the one who was interviewing him. And he said he wanted to become the county speaker. And the governor managed to maneuver her ways so that he couldn't become the speaker.
Dehoned him to his proper size.
Look at that. Is that a reason to even fight somebody? That tells you that this person is after his own self, not after the people of Homabay. He is here. He said that, and I was surprised. So if you didn't get a position you wanted, why would you then paint in black a leader who is working to ensure the county of Homabay progresses? And let me tell you, the great things that we have seen in Homabay County under her leadership, we have never seen in so many years that we have been alive. For example, right now, if you talk about the president, I have never seen any president implementing any project in Homabay County until she came in, and through the county leadership working hand in hand with other leaders. We have PS Raymond Omollo, we have the president, we have the governor. These people coordinated to ensure that Homabay is seen at the apex of development. And this is evident. So when we say about PR, this is somebody who has, maybe I don't know whether my good friend has been sent by somebody. Maybe you can explain further to demystify.
Let him tell us who has sent him.
Ogweno, you know why I love this man? He makes life easy for me so I don't have to think much. Sometimes when we tell you certain things some people have done to us, it is not that we are bitter about what they did. It is to expose their character. Today, the governor has a candidate in Karachuonyo, a candidate in Kasipul, a candidate for Kabondo Kasipul, and a candidate in every other ward, even one in Ndewa. And she doesn't hide the fact that she has a candidate to oppose the existing MP. So I was just saying that so that you know the character of this person. Number two, I am not asking you to impeach the governor. I was just telling you that how did Kericho act? And you beautifully evaded Meru because it succeeded in impeaching the governor. And how did Meru act? And you remember even Nairobi was just saved by the principals. And let me tell you, I am not going to talk about the things she has done well. But explain to me what you did about the alleged 274 accounts when Siaya has only 14.
Exactly.
Wait, you'll get that. Yes. We make this debate a civil one. Yes. What did you do about 13,000 plus ghost workers? Because you said you wanted the oversight agencies to tell you what to do. Now they have told you that your governor has ghost workers 1,300, yet Nyangiela has one nurse. Amuono dispensary was closed because the nurse that was there went on maternity leave, and it is closed today. And then Ndewa has no power at level 4 hospital because the governor has not paid the bill. So some of these things are the ones I talk about. I am not going to talk about things she has done well. That is for you to talk about because you have chosen to be her defender.
But is there anything that she's done well, Mwalimu? Even if you are not going to talk about them.
I'm going to tell you if there is any. And what I want to tell you, because I don't want to spend the time, I want to tell you the wrong things, to tell you the good things. When she has about 40 plus MCS to tell those good things.
But Mwalimu, also, just before you proceed, please, I beg your pardon. Is your problem with Gladys Wanga, the governor, more personal than it is for the Homabay County? That is what he's saying.
I never talk about Gladys Wanga's personal life. If it's explosive, if I talked about it here, you will close this thing and go home.
What do you mean?
Her personal life is explosive. So let me just talk about her duties.
You can't give
Let
us
me talk about hospitals and dispensaries and the office and what they are claiming to have built. So, if when you are in Homabay, the place where ECD students, children, are learning under trees, are in houses where they can see outside cows grazing, and then you say, tell me I should not talk about that because I would be personally attacking. I'm not attacking her. I'm attacking the things she has failed to do. I am attacking the things she has failed to do. Now, when I was in Lake Victoria South, I came across the fact that we have done as Lake Victoria South water in Oyugis, the so-called Atemo, and in Kindubei, the so-called Kokwanyo. Kokwanyo has 5.7 million liters of water in a tank. Atemo has 12.7. But people have no water in Oyugis and Kindubei to drink from taps. So we are not going to keep quiet when things go wrong that way because you don't want us to speak. But finally, and very important, Gladys and all these people who defend her, I have told us that there's development in Homabay because of her. In the first year that President William Ruto was elected, the first place he came to was Homabay, hosted by Dr. Raymond Omollo. At that point in time, Gladys Wanga was wearing an aluminium wig on the head, running on the highway saying Ruto must go.
Sufuria.
And then, that is not all. There is something there called Oginga Fish Market, Modern Fish Market. The construction began when they were still on the road saying Ruto must go. The pier, the construction, forget about planning, construction began when they were still on the road saying Ruto must go. The urban infrastructure started. In fact, we used to leave as UDA from Nairobi, go to Homabay to inspect the progress of work in the town center. The only thing that came when they had already gone into BBG was the so-called amphitheater. But that amphitheater was planned and accepted before they were even. Since the BBG, there is no project that has come to Homabay that you can say, this one Gladys Wanga went and lobbied for. And let me tell you, we don't elect governors to go and lobby. We elect MPs and senators and MCAs to lobby. Governors, we give them money from the national government to use to do projects. But when you don't do the projects and you come and hide behind the national government projects, then we ask you, where is the 3.5 billion that you budgeted for development? Where is it?
I was coming to that, Mwalimu. But before I come back to him, allow me to remind our viewers to kindly subscribe on our YouTube channel at The People's Bench. Just click on that button there so that anytime we post this kind of conversation or anytime we go live, you'll be able to see us. Mheshimiwa Erick Omollo Japii, Mwalimu is asking that in 2023-2024, Homabay County received over 13 billion from the national government. Out of this, of close to 4.2 billion was to go for development. Is there anything tangible apart from the issues that you are talking about, scholarship, that you can tell us that this money went to and it did?
Thank you. Before I answer that, I want to answer some of the concerns you
Go
raised.
ahead.
The first one, he has talked about the flagship projects that were done by the national government through the national government rather, like the pier, the fish market, the stadium,
Affordable housing.
the affordable housing and the amphitheatres, etc. There are live videos that were recorded when the governor was lobbying and requesting for these projects. In fact, the Homabay Stadium, the Raila Odinga Stadium, she lobbied during the Genewa tournament, and it was given. Again, the pier, she made a public pronouncement requesting for it to be done. But then, if I don't delve so much into that, he has talked about the issue of ghost workers.
We will come to that, about the ghost workers. We are coming to it.
Yeah, you know, I'm just talking about it because he has mentioned it.
Okay.
So if he did mention it, then it's prudent I talk about it. Unless you want it to be another topic. But then he talked about...
He took my question,
Okay.
but I'll ask you about that. We are coming to it. Because
Yes.
he's also talked about it, you know, in different forums. So I want us to...
Yeah, then now you have asked the question about the budget.
The budget.
It is the year 2023-2024, the development money. At that time, I was serving as a member of the budget committee. It was not 4 billion development money. It was 3.03 billion. So I want facts. In fact, you said it is
A contest of facts.
Contest of facts.
Yes,
So
that's
let
why
us
you are
get it
here.
Right.
Yes.
It's 3.03 billion. And let me tell you, the COB and the Auditor General gave a report that the absorption rate for that development money was 86.6%. Not our report. If the COB and the Auditor General are able to explain to the people of Homabay County that the absorption rate, in fact, Homabay was the second among the counties in Kenya, that was leading in absorption rate for that financial year. I want to say something, that when the national government does a project of 250 million, and then it again does a project of 500 million, then it does another project of 300 million or even 400 million. Cumulatively, this amount may be around 3 billion in total or even more. So one challenge that our people have refused to really dissect is the fact that when you do a project of 500 million, like the stadium, they are forgetting that the county government for years has been allocating money to do that project to the level they found it. So the 500 million becomes a bigger thing than the particular financial years that the county government has appropriated money to that effect. So people feel that the county government is doing nothing. Yet, the president only did the completion, only did a little touch-up of what was already existing.
I hear you.
Then again, if you say about 3.03 billion that it was not used well on development, what do we say of the 400 million that did roads? That is 10 million per ward. Out of that, that's 400 million. If I have to start splitting it per appropriation. Then there was 3.5 million per ward. Calculate times 40 wards. There is over 200 and something million that goes to bursary. We give 4 million per ward for bursaries, and we have 40 wards. That is how many? 160 million. Then we have also scholarship. We also have other ward-based projects like health. We give health 4 million per ward, and we have laboratories done in our wards, the maternities. But then again, he talked about ECD classrooms that children are studying under trees. Even when God was creating the world, he did not create it in one day. And you know, Mr. Owidi wants the governor to be a super god, someone who is able to transform the entire county in a day or in 3 years. Even if the national government itself, through Kenya, has never done 20% of the national roads in this country, now you expect the governor, who still lobbies for funds, who still receives only 15% of the national revenue, the equitable revenue share, 15%, to deliver 99%, than even the national government that hosts 85% of the national budget.
I hear you.
How do you expect the government to do that? So the issue that is raising, that there are still ECDs, it is just a matter of time. In fact, even if she was to be given 100 years, even the best of leaders will be given 200 years, we shall still be having that gap. That is why America got independence so many years ago. And there's still gaps. They're still electing leaders. And they've had the best leaders.
Mwalimu, even as you react to that, here you are challenging a governor who has been not once, not twice, voted and rated as #1 governor by opinion polls in Kenya.
you know, Homabay is the only county. EACC will put it red. COB will put it red. OAG will put it red, but opinion polls will put it green. Don't you see something is there? Capture. It's called capture. But let me tell you a few things, my brother. Children learning under a tree, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and a governor in a red carpeted office that is almost 50 minutes as long. Which one is an emergency?
Can I ask that
What
immediately?
is the emergency? Is the children learning under a tree. If rain comes, what do they do with their books? So Governor Gladys Wanga should have, instead of taking a loan to build her own office, which will also need furnishing, 820 is just to build. It will be furnished with another half of that money. What was the emergency? As we see today, anybody can go and Google, find the old office that Gladys Wanga has, that she rebuilt from Owidi's old one, is much better than the one we have in Nairobi, in Kericho, and everywhere else. Are we going to have our Homabay where everything is about the governor? Let us also
governor's office?
Let us look at the bursary. Education is not devolved. Why does the governor insist on allocating a large amount of money to bursary, like 400 million, to use it to buy support? That is what it is. That money being allocated to bursary, when bursary is in the Ministry of Education, when bursary is in CDF, why? Because they want somewhere where nobody will question what they have done with the money. So, you talked about absorption rate to be 86%. My brother, Homabay County eats development money 100%. What they do, if they ever give you a contract to do, they will never pay you because they have eaten the money. What are they going to use to pay you? PFM Act. You must budget for something with money that either is for sure going to come or has come. How else do we have pending bills? But you know, Homabay is one country, there will be pending bill for a road builder. But there will never be pending bill for an Ajawa person. They will dance, and the musician will be paid in full. They will have these things they keep on hosting every other day, functions. And the service providers will be paid in full. But the road contractor will not be paid. The ECD builder will not be paid. Because these things are also theirs. Homabay is one county that all vehicles fuel in one petrol station belonging to the governor herself. And if there is anybody to challenge me, I will tell you which station, and you will confirm to me that that is not where all vehicles go. So, if there is any county that needs to change the governor mid-term, it is the county of Homabay.
Mheshimiwa, are you going to challenge him, or you are going to allow him to get away with that?
You know, I love the way my friend debates or the way he reasons. You know, he doesn't reason out of facts. He's just picking them for political reasons or for his own benefit. You know, when you say that the absorption rate is 0.
I didn't say absolutely. I said nobody is paid. Once you have been given a contract and built a road, you will not be paid because they have eaten the money. So they eat all the development money. That's what I said.
So if you eat all the development money, let me say, you know, we have contractors who have worked for the county. And then our budget, every time the monies are released to county, it's not released in as the entire 10 or 12 billion.
Exactly.
Right? So if you do your budget and then you have done roads over 400 million, you know the county government does not give 400 million per month. So we have money, almost 92 million going to the assembly and a few millions going also to the executive. So it means as you pay contractors, you cannot pay all of them. Some have to wait. And in the process of those contractors waiting, some decide to make it loud that we haven't been paid. But of course, there is always payment plan for these contractors.
But they are too loud more than other counties. We have seen, you talk to contractors.
No, they're not loud than other countries. It's just that the focus is on Homabay because we are Homabayans. Were it that you are coming from Bomet, you'd be having a different story. So then you also talked about this issue of ECD. Let me tell you, so you want the county government to borrow through asset financing to go and do ECDs. You know, it doesn't make me see you as a man who reasons. It doesn't
Come on,
make
you
me
can't say that
see
to Mwalimu.
I'm really sorry to use that word. But then, if you go with facts, and based on the even public PFM Act 2012, that allows for county government, that is 142, that allows the county government to do borrowing on quite a lot of projects. And then you want to trickle it down to doing a single classroom. That, to me, it's not a good practice of leadership and accountability.
Thank you. Mheshimiwa, in the economy of time, allow me to ask you. The other day, we saw the governor and her team sweating. They were at pains to explain why the county government of Homabay is having more than 227. Initially, it was reported as over 500 accounts. And they could not explain why they were having that. And you people, the MCAs, are singing hallelujah to the governor.
Fred Ogweno, Public Finance Management Act 109 and 119 allows the county government to have as many accounts as possible. These accounts are not ghost accounts. These accounts are operating from banks that are credited. These accounts are being monitored by the central bank. And then I want to explain something, not even for him, but for those who are watching this broadcast, so they understand that having many accounts, even up to a tune of 500 or 600, is not a bad thing, with the following reasons. Giving Homabay County as an example. Let me use Homabay County as an example. We have 40 wards in Homabay County, and we are implementing one classroom per ward. And under the labor-based policy, it requires that each school that a project is being implemented in must have a bank account. So we are doing 4 ECD classrooms. That is 4 schools. We have 40 wards. Those are 40 wards times 44 classrooms. Those are 160 bank accounts. That one I've helped to verify those bank accounts. Then we have departmental accounts. We have departments. So we also must have accounts that are linked to those departments. You know, to ensure that development is done easily, you cannot have all the accounts centralized at one place. How will these other departments implement?
I hear you, Mheshimiwa.
Just to finish, we also issue bursary to counties. And I want to appreciate the point that is really saying that the county government is giving out bursary. That is not lawful. And right now we're in court. That I have to agree. Right? But then there is a gap. That is why I don't think the county government will be implementing bursary this year, because it has already been taken to court. Basically, out of public pressure, there was need to do that. People are really suffering. Then, when we explain the issue of bank accounts, we have municipalities. These municipalities must have account. And in fact, it becomes very easy to track implementation and how these accounts are working when people are not queuing under one account to use funds.
I hear you, Mheshimiwa. In the economy again of time and moving this conversation forward, I hear you speaking as if Siaya County and Kisumu County should be disbanded. Siaya is only having 14 accounts, and they are also implementing.
It's true.
Projects. But even if there are many, they are not as much as what we are having in Homabay.
You know, let me tell you something.
Please tell me.
When you talk about Siaya implementing classrooms, for example, you know, they cannot implement as many as we have. Do you know why? They have to go through the procurement. And the county government of Homabay came up with the labor-based policy. That this labor-based policy, there is no taxation. The locals do the work, right? And then Kisea County does not have FIF, Facility Improvement Fund, that allows each facility to use its money to develop itself. How many level 3 hospitals do we have in Homabay County? And all these level 4 hospitals have independent bank accounts, so that the money that is being used at those very facilities are spent to do a number of projects in those facilities. And we have seen quite a number of facilities improve in terms of development.
Thank you.
There's some that have done maternity, some have done laboratories.
Fair enough, Mheshimiwa. About the ghost workers, 1,300 plus, and you people are just comfortable. They are laughing with the governor, coming to the studios to praise him and say how wonderful and how great is he. Does it shock you people that you are losing close to 50 million per month?
Thank you, Fred. You know, the issue about ghost workers is a legacy challenge that dates back.
Is it true that we have
The
those
fact
ghost
remains
workers?
that it is true, and I want to appreciate the governor that she didn't hide it. She accepted it, that the level under which there are ghost workers in Homabay County is high, right? She didn't dispute that. I have to agree. And can I tell you how she did not dispute that it was not true?
Before you tell me, how much is paid to one ghost worker? Do you have the figures?
You
Because
know,
some people say that it is 39,000, something like that.
A ghost worker cannot be employed maybe on the same cadre. So it has to be different. So someone cannot come up with figures. But what I want to say, that the governor appreciated the fact that there were ghost workers inherited from the previous administration. And with the following facts. When she called for PricewaterhouseCoopers to do an HR audit, human resource audit, the main purpose was to identify the total number of ghost workers in the county. And to that effect, the PricewaterhouseCoopers report outlined what needed to be done so that we could even introduce biometric system. We could avoid payment of salaries through the manual procedure. We could have a system that is not fragmented so that all these are aligned within a system. So this she's doing. So it means she appreciated, she acknowledged, she didn't dispute that there are no ghost workers. So this is, from the very time we had this PricewaterhouseCoopers report, it was brought before the assembly. We went through it, we scrutinized this document, and then we made recommendations that those who have been found, either there is mismatch of IDs, there is no proper documentation, some are using fake certificates, are dismissed. And it's not a process that you can do in a day because it involves so many people that were employed back then. So governor is dealing with an inherited bucket of ghost workers that he has to pour out slowly. And when you're pouring water from a bucket, you can't do it once. You have to pour it slowly outside. So the county government is removing these ghost workers one at a time.
Mwalimu, are you satisfied?
You know, where money involves, errors cannot be accepted even for 30 cents. How 270 are paid without detection and they are being removed one by one? Where does this money go? Who is being paid? And where does he work? Does he log into his place of work? So this idea of fake, ghost workers, it is just clear theft. That is not even corruption. That is criminal. It is clear theft. And I don't think the governor should have left that place without branching at the police headquarters. But nevertheless, FIF, let me tell you how it works, maybe to all the viewers. What Homabay County did, when Owidi got out of office, they took all hospital revenue and put us on source. Then introduced FIF, Facility Improvement Fund, so that those hospitals, the money that has come from them, which they now call on-source revenue, can be used to improve the facilities. It is a way of stealing outside the financial system, which is monitored here. So that is why we have FIF, and we have now health as on-source revenue. In Owidi, it wasn't. And when I told them how their on-source revenue has gone down to negative 100 million, they didn't even challenge it because they know I am saying the truth. So there are three brothers here which have come together to steal. One is FIF and one is the so-called on-source revenue. So they are put together to fleece from hospitals because hospital is the largest source of revenue for any county. Largest, there's no other. Not even licenses. So, if you remove FIF, declare it illegal, and declare on-source revenue, source revenue from health as not on-source, they will go home. So this is just a way of stealing. Explain to me how Cadell Hospital with 19 beds can generate 54 million. Even if there was a person in those beds every day throughout for 90 days, you cannot reduce that money. You can't. But you see, that money is being stolen from SHA to arrive in Homabay as on-source revenue to use a new law they created called FIF to steal it. That is how it is. And if you go to those hospitals, there is nothing which has been improved. That Rachuonyo sub-county hospital that was blacklisted by SHA stayed without power for almost 3 months. No power, electricity in hospital. Nyang'yela, it's level 4. Though it is level 4 by name and by writing on the gate. At night you arrive at emergency, there is no power in the copper, not even torches. But I expect a level 4 hospital to have a backup generator. Power goes off, it takes off. Because a level 4 must have a ward and must have a theater. What about if somebody is on the theater and power disappears? So, Homabay is an example of how not to run a county government. This is the county where there is money for everything else except health.
I hear you, Mwalimu. I want to ask you, the other time you were afraid and you were saying that the late Odoyo used to intimidate people. That in working together with the governor, he used to use his goons to scare, beat up, and kill people. MCA is here, Mheshimiwa. He says that that is not the reality. Do you still stand with those words?
It's on record. The day Governor Gladys Wanga was being inaugurated, the day she took oath of office, Odoyo stood and said on camera, a video which I have, that all those people who are working in the county government and opposed or insulted Gladys Wanga must leave office immediately. If they don't leave, he will come with goons to remove them. That is a video I will play. I'll post it on my Facebook account when I leave here so that people can confirm. And Homabay is the county where the county government has employed enforcement officers who are also seconded up as goons in Ndewa and Kasipul. The person who was charged with suspected murder of Okoda is now promoted by the county government of Homabay as an inspector in the county enforcement office. Nyambok.
Mheshimiwa, you heard that. I'm coming to you.
And you know me, I say things as they are. Homabay County is the county who went complaining that why is Owidi still having security? And they were told security in this country is not provided on the basis of which office one holds. It is provided on which risk somebody runs. And I have 3 of them and I will still keep them. As long as you are asking why I have them, because I don't know the motive of the county government of Homabay. So, let us not run a county the way Homabay is run. Homabay is the county where NGOs come and do work, including that so-called the Governor's Park. Then they go and put it in the accounts that it was done by the county government. No, it wasn't done by the county government. The MCS in Homabay, none of them should go back because they have forgotten their jobs. Their job is to ensure that the governor does the right thing with the budget they pass for her. If she wants to build an office, and office is not in the strategic plan that you approved, then that office should not be built. And when you come here and tell me that we should not borrow money to build ECD classes for children learning under a tree, or whose classrooms are see-through, but we should borrow money to build an office because we will use the money we are paying for officers to pay for it, I think we are getting things all wrong.
Look, Mwalimu, you are saying all these things about Governor Gladys Wanga.
I'm saying about Homabay
About
governance.
Homabay governance. And look, people love her. He's just supporting the son of the late Odoyo, and they love him. He's destined to be the next member of parliament.
What?
People are not complaining. You are the one complaining here from Nairobi.
It is very painful that a 23-year-old who can hardly speak a complete sentence in English is going to be the county MP because the governor wants. Let me tell the people of Homabay, Boyd Were is not going to be the MP for Kasipul. It is not going to work. Those people you saw in Kasipul today, you saw the buses from Ogande, buses from Ndewa, another one from Achar High School in Homabay, in Rangwe, all buses from, including Nyangoma Masogo. So the crowd is big, but that is meant as a PR to wink the people of Kasipul that this boy has a big following. If somebody travel from Mombasa, governor, passed another by-election in Magarini, passed another by-election in Siaya, and many others along the way, just to come to Homabay. Sifuna came all the way from Western to come to Homabay. And they came because they were facilitated to come and justify the PR that they wanted to show us in Kasipul, that there's somebody here with a big following and you need to elect. I can tell you, during the election day, all those people you saw who were transported in buses, they do not have votes for Kasipul. The people of Kasipul are going to remain voting the person they can take them forward without bloodshed.
Your reaction to what Mwalimu was saying, even as we're winding up?
Well, Mwalimu is talking good, except that he misses facts. And he's so keen into things that are sweet for the ears of the public, but not the very things that are deep inside leadership. And I can call them gimmickry, if I may say. Mr. Owidi is talking about ODM party. You know, I'm a member of the ODM party. I didn't want to talk about the party issue here, but because he has raised it, I feel it's good I respond.
Please do.
I'm a member of ODM party, just like any other party. We have Democratic Party in the US. We have the Republican. When they front a candidate, all of them are obliged by the party constitution to support that very candidate. In that very spirit, all the members of ODM party, by the reference made in the party constitution, they are obliged to support a candidate that has been fronted by the party. It talks about Boyd Were losing this election. Only time will tell. This thing is going on record. It's not even possible. Even a layman can see it's not possible anywhere. I don't come from Kasipul.
What is not possible?
Him losing.
Boyd Were losing.
It's not possible.
Mwalimu, you heard that?
Based, and you know.
No, that one is talking because Gladys is listening.
I'm not talking about Gladys. I'm talking strictly on Boyd Were. But then that I've said that it has gone on air. I want to answer the question that he talked about Ongondo, talking about Goonism. When Ongondo, during inauguration of the governor, when he talked about goons, Ongondo Were is not a county government employee, and neither does he talk, or neither was he talking on behalf of the county. That was his mind. You cannot bring that to issues of county government. And it's so sad that today Mr. Owidi is saying that Homabay County has employed goons who are being paid. You know, there is no harm in becoming strongly built as a young person, then someone mistakes that person as a goon. If I am well built and I'm employed in the county government of Homabay, does it mean that I have to be judged on the stature or on my physique that I'm a goon? No. You know, any member, any youth in Homabay County who could listen to that would feel like there is a way in which there is kind of favoritism and hate towards that. So the county government has only empowered youths who are now not keen on handouts but at hands-on on development. For example, we have such youths who have been empowered to work in markets, to do the cleaning of markets. Some are volunteering to do activities of the county government. And all these people, the county government is doing this to keep them busy. We have so many youths who are unemployed. And not everybody you meet in a rally is a goon. And if the county government can take the initiative to employ those youth that is now calling goons, then it's a good thing, because they're not sleeping, they are working. You can find them in their working gears delivering. So when time even to attend a campaign or a funeral comes, it's all right to attend. So you don't need to treat this person as a goon. I know Owidi says that he works also with some boys, some goons. Because
did I say so?
Maybe
I have police security, no goons.
So you are advantaged to be having police security.
Yes, so don't say I work with goons. I never work with them.
But I've never seen with police security. I don't know whether it's just a statement to
It's okay. If you have never seen, that's also fine.
Well, but
you don't
now,
have to see them.
But
that's also fine.
But now the issue of branding our youth to be goons because of how they're built is wrong.
I said Nyambok has been charged in court.
And
Nyakwarogwang is charged in court. Is 5 times. Ongondowere's driver is charged in court 3 times. And they have all been taken and absorbed in the enforcement in Homabay.
You know, someone being charged in court, until proven guilty, that person is not guilty.
But how did they get there?
I wish that you would have said that so-and-so has been arrested because of this and is an employee of county government. That makes sense.
But I have a video with a county government official carrying a panga in East Kamagak when Ongondowere was a panga.
What did you do with the video?
I have it. I still have it.
Having the video and sharing on platform like this does not add value. What did you do with that video?
Sharing it on the platform.
Then what
that
next?
Is my work ends here.
Why not take the video to the DCI to take
They have
action
it.
instead of sharing?
They have it.
But there's no action that has been
They are
taken.
paid to keep quiet.
Okay, we are winding up. I want you, Mheshimiwa, talk to your people. Young people, you are an inspiration to young people, you know. And we are in a duration that there is a lot of hopelessness, you know. What message do you have to the young people outside there, who some of them have no job? Some of them, a debate like this is not helping them. They are wondering what are they going to eat tonight when you people are working closely with the governor.
You know, my very fellow youths,
You may look at this camera.
if I may use I may look at that camera. What I can say, you will never rise if you sit somewhere comfortably, but you must start from somewhere. You don't have to expect huge salaries to make a living. Some started just by being cobblers, and they rose into the levels they wanted. The big factories we have were never big factories from the inception. They had to grow. So if we would take the initiative as young people and do any other ordinary job that comes our way, then we rise from there. So let us not despise any job opportunity because of how it looks like. But what is most important is self-discipline, and then we work so hard to improve our county.
Thank you. Mwalimu, when you speak, when you record your videos, I look at the comments outside there. They are supporting you. You are a source of inspiration to many by stretching the truth, especially when most people are afraid of stretching it for the reasons that are best known to themselves and some reasons you usually say here and even on other platforms. Talk to them now. They are listening to you all the way from Homabay to Kisumu to Mombasa and even outside the country.
I want to tell the people of Homabay, they don't need to swallow everything the leaders say. When you find a leader who has a budget of 12.5 billion, telling you that her achievement is bringing devolution conference to Homabay, bringing I don't know what else was brought. I think I remember investment conference. Nobody has ever come to invest in Homabay, bringing Madarakari to Homabay. Honestly, how does that help a person who cannot find medicine hospital? And also, interestingly, they are saying that they lobbied for the stadium to be built. But remember, every county that hosts any public holiday will have their stadium improved from where it is. But nevertheless, ask your governor, where is the development budget? And for those who ever got procurement, why are they not being paid? Because those people who complain about pending bills only qualify to be pending bills after a financial year. The ones in Homabay, some are even as old as 5 years during Owidi. They need to be paid now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And with that, we come to the end of our program, The People's Bench tonight. We had to end it somewhere. Otherwise, we can continue until morning, until chair. We have to end it somewhere so that we can pick it up from there. It has been The People's Bench coming to you from Muthu Silver Springs Hotel, a very wonderful place that you can just come and relax. I had the privilege to have the straight shooter, him who says it the way it is, without missing words, without fear or favor, Mwalimu Odoyo Owidi. He's a senior political analyst and always here on the bench, stretching the truth a little further, and none other than one of the best performing MCAs from Homabay County. His name is Honorable Erick Omollo, the MCA for Homabay Town East. It has been a contest of facts. They have laid the facts and the figures on the table, and the rest it is for you to judge. I have been your host, Fred Ogweno. Thank you so much for watching, and we do this thing next time.